Hey guys, what's up? It's Jonathan, and I am talking today about putting a diminished sound over a dominant chord vamp. Now, the easiest way to think about diminished for me is that it's minor thirds stacked on minor thirds. So we're going to do this in C. A minor third up from C is E flat. A minor third up from E flat, G flat, and then a minor third up from G flat, A, and a minor third up from A, you're at your octave with C. So over a dominant chord, C dominant, our chord tones are C, E, G, and B flat. So even just playing that original diminished arpeggio I mentioned will have a really cool dissonant sound over top of this chord. So see, we have our root. E flat is the minor third over a chord quality that has a major third present. So there's going to be a little bit of a unique clash there. Then we get a tritone, the devil's interval. Fantastic for building tension. And then we get this natural sixth, which, you know, is part of Mixolydian, sounds great with Dorian, and is ultimately a melodic and often funky note choice. So we're back at our root. So there's two types of diminished scales. This falls into the category of symmetrical scales. And you've definitely heard me talk about whole tone before, which is really like my favorite tonality. And there's these diminished scales. So there's half whole, which is a collection of just moving in half steps, moving in whole steps, and then repeating the process. And then your other option is your whole half, which is just starting with a whole step, followed by a half step, and then the pattern repeats itself. Now, I use these all in a couple different ways, which I'll mention, and then I will apply in a context. So I will often do this in a way that I call directional. So I'll be targeting, let's say, this E flat here. I'm going to start here. And have that unique build up to that landing point. Or if I wanted to, target this G here. And I'll just come from somewhere playing a dominant flavor. The shape and then chromatically resolved when I felt it was appropriate to land on that note. Now, that was using the half whole. You can use the same kind of process with your whole half. I often will use these in the kind of, we'll call it a triad or an arpeggio shape, where I'm using, I'll get a little closer here so you can see my hand. Now that's a first finger based shape. There's also a nice close by ring finger based shape, which plays nicely into that first shape on the next string. So I'll go. Accounting for that B string, and build up that. I'll do them on the same string. And I often am guilty of somehow just blending whole tone and diminished and ultimately playing rather chromatically until I resolve at an appropriate chord tone. But I will try to stick to diminished sounding stuff. I learned a new move recently, and it sounds like this. You pick one of these interval starting points, so we'll go with A. go down that diminished arpeggio. So those are little 4-note groupings. And depending on where you place that in a beat, it can sound very hip and funky, and I know it's just definitely a departure from your dominant chord flavor stuff. And then sometimes I'll add like a ghost note to make it a 5-note phrase, so it can be even more angular and fun. And so those are some of the ways I employ these. So what's cool about it is you don't have to just learn it all from your root, knowing that it happens from the minor third, the tritone, and the natural sixth, and the shape is fully symmetrical and able to be moved around is a great way to just slap it onto the playing that you already have going on. It's like an upgrade in an RPG. So here comes some background music. It's one of Jeff Williams' guitars, fantastic little YouTube Phish backing tracks, which I know we all play over. So I'll establish the Mixolydian dominant flavor. Thing, and then I was back in the Mixolydian flavors. That targeting approach where I'm going to pick a note like that G in. You don't have to just start it from C. You could really pick any point. So here's from the flat 9. Brief and still be very effective. Really an effective tool to build some tension and release and to change the color. This same kind of approach can be applied to playing over something like sand or some kind of Dorian minor chord environment, you can really kind of step out of the minor pentatonic box and use these diminished shapes to build tension and create motion and a sense of departure and ultimately arrival. So I hope that you dig, and I wish you happy practicing.